Hi everyone. So we are at week 4. So we have a group assignment, which is the about the building resilience into the organization, and also the COVID-19 effect in African continent. I have with me Hani. Can you hear me, brother?
Yes, Anton. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'll just move down to the second slide. So it's about the finding Africa's path and shaping bold solution to save lives and livelihood in COVID-19 crisis. So about the article that is that analyzes the COVID-19 economic impact of African continent, and also it also offers a framework for near term action by government, the private sector, and the development institution to mitigate the effect. COVID-19 is indeed a worrying public health issue, and African countries need to address the significant economic challenges, such as the low demand in global market for a wide range of exports, delayed and reduced foreign direct investment, increased liquidity issues, and low tax revenue, among other. It's because African countries are mainly dependent on export and foreign revenues by selling types of products and also providing services. So when the COVID-19 happened, all the orders and every demand of those service and the product reduced, which affected negatively in the number of ordered. So that slowed down the African economy. And those challenges have led to a slowdown in overall economic growth of African countries as well. Therefore, the African the article's first pivotal factor is the economic factor, I'll say. And those factor determines of an economic interpretation that directly impacts a company and have long-term resonating effect. I'll also add African countries are extremely exposed to external shocks. A paradigm shift is needed in order to change the trade pattern of African countries within themselves and the rest of the world, particularly with China, Europe, USA, and other emerging countries. Africa should turn the COVID-19 pandemic into an opportunity to translate the policy recommendation on productive transformation described in Africa's development dynamics. Assuming so diversity enters from their economic by studying the productive capacity of Africa's private sector to transform raw material locally. This will improve domestic resource mobilization to reduce the continent's dependence on external financial flow. So this was it. So I'll move on to the next slide, which will be described by Hani.
Thank you, Nazim. We'll talk about the possibility that African governments will be rising shortage and increase pressure on their countries, and African countries must grapple with the economic factors such as a limited fiscal capacity, a highly informed economics with many small and micro business, widespread poverty, and constrained health systems. This highlights a second important fiscal factor, the social factor. Widespread poverty as a social factor is followed by the many European living in the slums in many African countries. This has a significant impact on the effectiveness of quarantine methods in the poor conditions of slums. Another social factors in that Africa also has a young population, some of whom are vulnerable and others who are unemployed and hence do not contribute the economy. Also, small and medium enterprise create 80% of Africa's employment. These businesses have a limited ability for their staff to work from home, compounded by issues such as power outage and high data costs. Many SIMs are under significant cost pressure and face potential closure and bankruptcy that is likely to lead to widespread job losses. The future of small businesses in African countries is therefore at risk in this period of the COVID-19 pandemic. And I think this is the similar to another countries because as you know, it's COVID-19 affect everything, affect all the countries. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And those are the references that have been used in our presentation. So yeah, that is it. Thank you.
Thank you, Nazim.
Let me just stop the recording.